I love Star Wars. I love the Jedi. I like the lightsabers. I love the space battles. I love the fights and the characters. I love all of it. I also love video games, so it only makes sense to combine the two. There have been so many outstanding Star Wars games, LEGO Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, The Force Unleashed, and even more Star Wars games on its way with Star Wars Squadrons. But there's only one game that sticks out to me when you talk about Star Wars gaming. One game that cemented Star Wars' place in gaming and made me feel like I was in that world. The year is 2003, you just got home from school. You head over to your really crappy family computer with a CRT monitor and Windows XP. You launch Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and you're greeted by this banger of a menu screen. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic will remain the best Star Wars game in my heart. No Star Wars game has ever or will ever reach the levels of immersiveness and fun that Knights of the Old Republic gave me. In July of 2000, BioWare announced that they were working with LucasArts to create a Star Wars role-playing video game for the PC and next-gen consoles. This game was officially unveiled as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic at E3 2001.
It's very much a D&D game set in the Star Wars universe that sort of came out of nowhere at a time when people weren't expecting Star Wars games to be very good.
At this point, the game had been in development for around 6 months. Star Wars The Old Republic was originally conceived around the year 2000 and initially planned to be a game set around or during the Clone Wars, something around the storyline of Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. But it was cut so it wouldn't spoil the upcoming movie. It would be the detachment from the movies that made this game fresh and unique. It had literally never been done before that moment.
When they see Star Wars console RPG, their expectations are probably not very high, and it comes out and it's a smash hit. It's this incredible game.
For me, this was absolutely amazing. An open world game with so much freedom to travel around planets and galaxies, the choice to do anything I wanted. My character was really me. I had complete control over who Revan was. I controlled who he was and what he did. For the first time you were in Star Wars. You became a Star Wars character. You could explore the galaxy at your own pace. You want to race through the planets just to beat Darth Malik's ass. You can do that. You want to take your time. Help every little traveler who needs it and do every side quest. You can do that.
Excuse me, have you seen a mechanic about? Short fellow, bald?
It did something unique. It had an extremely linear story, but it felt open. Yes, you could make choices, but in the end, the game has 2 endings. It's a linear game disguised as a free open world game, which is what makes it so special. You travel at the planets whatever pace you want, make whatever decisions you want, but you'd always end up at the same 2 places on the Star Forge. That's what made this game so good. It combined the aspects of a linear game and an open world game and made something special. It makes you feel like your choices are yours and important to you and only you. Revan was a perfect character. His mechanics and design was perfect. He was perfect because he was whatever you wanted him to be. He was a self-insert.
Revan to me was female.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I played through the game and that's what happened.
Right. Everybody gets to have their Revan, which is incredible and part of the magic of the game, right? Like my Revan is like this very specific face usually and this very specific set of like lightsaber colors that I like and choices and things like that I make when I play.
No 2 Revans were the same. Your Revan was completely different to your friend's Revan, both in their story decisions and the character skills you chose. This led to everybody having their own version of Revan and their own gameplay styles. You would be on the playground talking with your best friend and fighting over your gameplay styles. You'd be like,
"From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost!"
There was endless amount of variety and customization options, which led to endless discussions. No 2 Revans were ever the same. No 2 journeys were ever the same. Everyone's Revan was special to them and each story was different. You could visit the planets in a different order, collect the companions in a different order, bring companions to a different planet to get different interactions in a different order.
Genchopa chawi tichok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kuntichi wa chawa. Dong abuk shami no nok.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother.
Everything was different, everything was changed, everything was customizable, everything was made to tailor you. It was amazing and had infinite replayability and infinite possibilities. Revan could be anything and everything. You want to be a complete asshole who kills children?
Zalbar, don't do this! Please! No!
You can do that. You want to be a perfect Jedi who does backflips and cool shit. You can do that. That's why KOTOR works so well. Revan is a blank canvas which you can put your own personality and creativity into. Just like its source of inspiration, in D&D your character can be absolutely what you wish them to be.
Find Percival's bath and silently walk in while he's bathing, and I sit in the bath on the other side and just stare for a minute.
You know you're getting weirder.
And this was a first for Star Wars. It was the very first Roll20 D&D type game for Star Wars, and it translated perfectly. The trees were absolutely perfect, they were varied, had a ton of abilities to choose from. Would you want to focus on hard strikes and DPS? Or would you want to focus on healing and passive abilities? You could play whatever way you wanted to. Every choice you make affects the game in a slight manner, and it's these small details that make up the world and make you feel like you're making an impact. Every small detail, every small choice makes up the world you're living in. Your decisions impact the world. The crew you choose affects the story you see and what you experience. It's different for each playthrough and for each person. Characters perfectly complemented each other and they had great dialogue together. You could pick your own team on each planet and have different interactions, and special things happen depending on who you bring with you.
I challenge you, Canderous. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the doomed seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all.
You could mix and match your team to your liking and to whatever happens to the planet. Each character felt like they belonged somewhere the story had a reason to be there, especially since each character would have a special mission for a specific planet. Each character had chemistry with the other companion you brought, and they all worked harmoniously to craft KOTOR like an orchestra. Each individual character brought something unique and had a unique characteristic. HK is a sassy droid.
Conclusion. You have just shown me your soft, meatbag-like underbellies and said, HK-47, please shoot me repeatedly there until I die.
Parth is the family man. He's a soldier.
Dustil is alive. We have to go to the Korriban Academy and find him.
Bastila is the Jedi leader.
Without my help, you might have never gotten off the ship alive.
Jolee is the wise Jedi who understands that the Jedi are flawed and teaches you more about yourself.
Jedi, with their damnable sense of overcaution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you.
Zalbar is the honor-bound warrior and a perfect companion with mission. Mission is the young, spirited street rat.
Hey, Bastila, you ever use the Force just for fun? You know, a little jolt of the Force to trip up some jerk who's ticking you off?
I would never use the Force for such petty and trivial revenge. The mere thought of it's preposterous.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be times when you thought about it. Don't be so stuck up. You can tell me.
Canderous is the battle-hardened Mandalorian.
I hear John got hit really bad. Too bad about his daughter.
He should have been protecting her better if he wanted to keep her.
T3M4 is a cute, helpful droid. And Juhani is a fallen Jedi that represents Revan and what Revan could be.
I am pathetic. I sit here and think myself to be great by embracing the dark side, but I am nothing. There is no way I could be turned back. I always thought they held me back, or jealous of my power. This is only because I was not good enough to meet their standards. I never have been.
Each individual character is like an individual instrument. They come together to create an orchestral piece known as Knights of the Old Republic, with each character serving its own role and purpose to make the game feel full and alive. For comparison, let's look at Star Wars The Old Republic, BioWare's most recent game. While I love this game and I have like 200 hours on it, the companions are useless and barely add anything to the story. The only companion that matters is your first companion. Unlike KOTOR, bringing your companion to a specific planet doesn't trigger a secret side quest or anything of the sort. The companions themselves don't even have a side quest outside the first companion you get. Characters are just there to be characters. I never cared about them. Like, who the hell's Brunmark, and why should I care about them? In Star Wars The Old Republic, we are told our characters agrees or disagrees with something, with the agree and disagree mechanic. While in KOTOR, the characters show that they are in disagreement or agreement. There isn't a little bit of text which tells you whether or not your companion approves.
Listen to me. The dark side leads to death and destruction. I've seen the horrors the Sith have unleashed on the galaxy. Turn away from this path.
What your companion says in dialogue says it all already. The game doesn't treat you like a brain-dead idiot who can't pick up on character motivation and language. The companions in Star Wars The Old Republic play less like an orchestra and more like a high school band, with each character being its own individual thing, doing its own individual thing, with no flow or chemistry with the rest of the characters. They lack interaction with the world of Star Wars, outside of a small couple additional dialogue pieces and that little approve-disapprove mechanic they have. But speaking of orchestras, let's talk about the music, because the music is so goddamn good. The music by Jeremy Soule is amazing. It takes the music and motifs made by John Williams and elevates it to a whole new level, continuing the theme of familiar yet unique that KOTOR has nailed down perfectly. The world of Knights of the Old Republic is a more civilized and elegant era. It's not a battlefield against oppression. It's not a 1940s World War II vibe like the original era. It's not as grand and fantastical as the prequel era, and it's nowhere as messed up or destroyed as the sequel era. The world feels alive. You can interact with anybody and it feels like the world has been lived in. It feels like you're inside this world. It's existed before you logged on, and it'll exist after you log off. Everything is alive and special, each world having its own life, inhabited with people with stories and emotions. Each planet's almost like its own character in itself, with each one having its own personality. You can infiltrate a Sith school in Korriban, you could explore the Dune Sea of Tatooine, or you could participate in a trial on Manan. Each planet has something crazy and special and unique for you to do, and it's inhabited by the crazy and quirky characters we've all come to love and expect with Star Wars.
Sort of just on the edge of like familiarity, you know, it's like new, while also being like, you know, there's that tissue there. But some of my favorite things in KOTOR are where they just completely do their own thing, like Manan. You know, Manan is like this gorgeous planet, totally, you know, oceanic, and you get to kind of do the weird little 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea thing, and you know, save a giant shark, magical immortal shark.
All of these things come together to form Knights of the Old Republic. The amazing gameplay, the characters, topped with the music, the perfect Star Wars game, and dare I say the most immersive video game I've played to date. I will never forget the conversations I've had about this game and the fun I've had just exploring and meeting characters. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is the best Star Wars game ever made to me. Even as I look back on it almost 17 years later, and even after the countless Star Wars games that have been released, no game has ever reached the level of immersiveness, fun, replayability, and pure passion that has been poured into this game. There's a reason the Knights of the Old Republic community lives to this day, waiting for a third installment, hoping for that one day to come.
Savior, conqueror, hero, villain. You are all things, Revan, and yet you are nothing. In the end, you belong to neither the light nor the darkness. You will forever stand alone.
Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're at it, please check out some of my other videos. I spent a very long time working on these videos and I would appreciate it very much. Also, thanks for everybody who subbed to me. I now have reached 200 subs. That seems like a small number, but to me, it means the world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.